Fighting any corporation is, first and foremost, fighting people. Every large organization literally consists of human relationships. The more soulless the corporation, the more complex and contradictory the relationships between its most significant figures. In this video, I'll explain how the personal dynamics between different characters in the series develop and why those dynamics are far more important than whatever Marshall Cuso is trying to do. Yes, for everyone who hasn't subscribed yet, I strongly recommend subscribing, hitting the like button, and ringing the bell. It'll be easier for them if I just shut up, don't let them win. Relationships between people don't always conform to social norms or society's approval. Such relationships are often called toxic. In the end, these relationships lead to the degradation of both the bond itself and the people living within it. Unhealthy workplace relationships in the pharmaceutical industry are the very foundation of the industry's vicious operation. At the deepest level, it's the ideological conflict between financier Jonas Backstein and Rick Kruger.
You amuse me, Rick. You're a classic type. The American bullshitter.
Okay, I'm gonna show you something that one of my top research people is working on, okay?
On a more familiar, relatable level, it's the dependency between CEO Rick Kruger and his assistant Frances Applewhite. Let's start with them. Both participants in this relationship are completely dependent on each other.
So, shakeups are coming. I'm not sure if we're gonna survive. If I'm going down, you're going down.
Rick, what would happen if I brought this company like a new product?
Kruger's childish dependency stretches far beyond his corporate impotence and open indifference to his professional duties. He can't even change a TV channel without Frances. Frances, in turn, cannot leave her job at the giant Reutical because her mother's last months, perhaps years, depend on it. As an additional grotesque dwarf of the human spirit, the show introduces Frances' boyfriend, Nick. We know little about him.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Baby, just try looking into my eyes for like 30 seconds. It's really good for like our chakra, soul, sexual connection stuff. Babe.
Sorry, Nick, it's just there's like a work situation.
Except that he insists on imposing 30-second motivational coaching sessions on his partner. He has no clue what to do with Frances in the long term, since they can't have children due to career ambitions and the sudden appearance of Marshall, a true martyr for science, already turned Nick into a blatant nobody in the very first episode. Their trip to Switzerland isn't a concession or corporate perk for a seasoned soldier of the business front. It's just another freak in the circus of corporate perversions. Corporations turn any person into a simulacrum of themselves. Whoever gets drawn into corporate relations loses their face, loses themselves. Everything alive inside a person within the corporate world becomes subordinate to the soulless ambitions of the company, to its marketing plan, to its advertising plan. Briefings, panel discussions, 3-hour conference calls, these are sophisticated methods of dehumanization and torture. And the torturers can be not only bosses over subordinates, but also subordinates over bosses. The direction of this devaluation and humiliation is set by the investor. In our case, it is a Swiss financier who watches from the untouchable heights of financial dominance over the commotion around the blue mushroom. The Wolf, Jonas Backstein, for him, stability and the manageability of the world are the highest goals for which he can, without hesitation, sacrifice $1 million or $2 or, if necessary, order the brains blown out of a random witness.
Rick, economies will collapse. Cartels will arise with their own grip on the mushroom, killing rivals. If this mushroom heals wounds, every fight is to the death. Wars will be unimaginably ferocious. We'd kill on a massive scale. Everything black and white.
Rick Kruger mistakenly believes that sales figures, his personal KPI, somehow influence his career. No, old man. Everything depends only on who played golf this morning with his old friend, the president. Sell high-tech vaccines or dog crap on a stick. Well, which license is easier to get? The toxic relationships within the pharmaceutical world are mirrored by exaggerated tragedies in family dynamics. Marshall Cuso's half-brother Zane never forgets to take money from him, even though Marshall comes to him twice in the first season at his own difficult moments. Both times he pays his brother for his help. What's more, Zane easily hands over his half-brother to Agents Copano and Harrington. A brother turned out cheaper than smuggled tropical creatures. Business, brother.
Enjoy the store?
Got it. Yeah, we'll just poke around.
Actually, that's employees only. Employees only! Employees only!
They must flush some of the smaller fish, right?
Marshall's alive! He's alive! I don't know where he is, but he came here. He came here with a woman, and there was a kid, and if you're gonna flush one, you can flush that one. But don't flush my lionfish!
Nothing personal. Similar dynamics shape Marshall Cuso's relationship with his university mentor Hildy and her seminar team. Hildy spent her whole life searching for the Blue Angel, but when she finally faced her goal, she discovered that in her way stood a fat, bearded guy in a ridiculous Panama hat and flip-flops. Hildy manipulates masterfully, even shooting herself knowing Marshall will save her. There's no doubt Marshall studied his mentor just as well, removing the bullets from her revolver cylinder. Hildy views people only through their usefulness in her quest for the Blue Angel. People are dust and dirt compared to her higher purpose. The moment someone becomes an obstacle, they're thrown off a cliff. Family relationships, corporate relationships, and especially the bond between mentor and student are never equal. Some might call them partnerships, but most often someone dominates while someone submits. If the donkey won't follow the carrot, it's hinted where the carrot might end up and the donkey becomes obedient again. Entirely different, though, is the relationship between two colleagues, Agents Copano and Harrington. They listen to the same music, eat the same Chinese takeout, compliment each other like salt and pepper at the table. And yet, they can't truly be together because Harrington is a lesbian. Until the storm of the hunt for the blue mushrooms thrust this duo into the very heights of federal politics, everything between them was real. Each knew the other's worth. Each was ready to risk their life for their partner. That lasted until reality forced them to choose, remain close friends, defy the whole rotten sky of politics, and see their investigation through to the end or replace the initials on their jackets with the more intimidating FBI and stop being themselves. Harrington chose the letters. Copano chose himself. Both paid with their lives when they could have just eaten Chinese food together. As you can see, dear friends, Common Side Effects is a series where human passions and thoughts are trampled and destroyed by corporate logic, professional ethics, and fanaticism. Human connections form and collapse at dizzying speed. It may seem like such a thing only happens in the pursuit of super profits or diamonds in Africa. But think about it. When was the last time you spoke to your relatives or told your boss what you really think? Anyway, my time's up. See you soon.